Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let's see who all are there. I hope I'm audible properly to everyone. Let me check. Okay, Sivai is there. Hi, Sivai, Achyut, Riyaj, Siddharth, Tejaswa, Anurag, Raja. Hi, everyone. Hi, good evening. So, welcome to Essentials 2.0, and this is Python and Data Science Zero to Hero, guys. Everyone there. Okay, so we'll be doing this Python and data science soon, and here we have with us Varun sir. He would be the instructor for this Python and data science course. Hi Varun sir, good evening. How are you?
Hi, hi, sir. I'm fine. Thank you. How about you?
Yeah, sir, can you please increase your voice is not properly audible. It's very low actually.
Just a minute.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Meanwhile, Varun sir fixes his audio, guys. Let's have a small chit chat in this chat in this YouTube comment, guys. So, all of you guys, can you all mention, please, from where all you belong and from where actually you are attending these sessions? I hope everyone is doing well there. Hi, Jyoti. Hi, Harsha, Riyaj, Krishan, Naveen, Hussein, K. Aviram, Siddharth. Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to Essentials 2.0 Python and Data Science 0 to Hero Day 1, guys. Please mention your places Rajahmundry, Hyderabad, Pune, Telugu. Okay, that's different. Gujarat, Pune, Kolkata. Okay, Jamshedpur, UK. We have people from United Kingdom. That's great. We have people from Delhi, Meerut, Tamil Nadu. China, okay, that's great. Like Nashik, Bangalore, okay. Now it's very getting like very difficult for me to read the chat. It is very scrolling very fast. Delhi, Surat, Tamil Nadu, Ghaziabad, Karnataka, Lucknow. Okay, let's see like how much I can read out. Faridabad, Visakhapatnam, Warangal. Okay, that's great. That's great. So welcome, guys, once again. I'm happy, very happy that you all joined here. Welcome once again to this, and surely Varun sir would also be happy to teach you all this data science with Python essentials. This is day one, guys. Take it like best out of it. Before actually I give it like pass the baton to Varun sir, I'll be announcing something. Okay, so yeah, so we have people from Sri Lanka. Okay, hi from like I'm in Odisha, Bhubaneswar right now. So hi from Odisha to Sri Lanka to UK to China to Bangalore to New York to Mumbai. Every like all those people who are watching this session. Hi and like welcome. Okay. So, okay. So that was a like nice meet out to everyone. Then, so okay, I would like to make few announcement before we actually start this session, guys. Okay, I want all of you to know this before you actually move ahead with the session. So, firstly, so now we are actually giving two kinds of certificate, guys. I think some of you might already know. So one is participation certificate and second is completion certificate. Okay. So at participation certificate, if you just watch the sessions or like if you attend all these sessions, so there will be three sessions plus one career and placement session. That is also a part of this career, Python and data science session. So four sessions. If you attend all those four sessions and put attendance for all this session, you'll be getting participation session. Okay, participation certificate. But along with this attendance, if you like submit all the assignment and project that Varun sir would be giving you throughout this session. So you'll be getting completion certificate, guys. Okay. So remember this: if you just put attendance and watch the session, then attend the session, you'll be getting attendance certificate. And if you, along with that, if you also submit your assignment in the submission form, a link is there in the description. You can check it out. There, if you submit all your assignment, then finally it will be evaluated after the course ends, and you'll be getting a completion certificate, which would be again announced in the virtual convocation, which we do after the session. So in the virtual convocation, two eligibility lists would be discussed, announced. One is the who are eligible for participation certificate and who are eligible for the completion certificate. And yes, this time, guys, we are also shipping physical copy of completion certificate that is from LetsUpgrade, ITM group of institutions, and NSDC and Skill India. Okay, so if you want that physical copy of all this certificate, also like so many affiliated and approved certificate with a like unique license, then you should be also submitting all your assignment for all those assignment what Varun sir would be giving you in this session. Okay, isn't it interesting? Isn't it very excited, guys? Please let me know in the comments who all are ready to get those completion certificate, hard copy, the physical copy of completion certificate. Please let me know in the comment section. There is a link in the description, guys, where you all actually can submit your assignment. Don't submit anywhere else. Don't submit in the community here and there, tagging me or anyone. Okay, because there we cannot actually keep a track of it. Please submit all of your assignment in the submission form. A link has been given in the description. One of my team member also will be putting in the chat, okay, continuously. So don't get don't put anywhere else. That's it, guys. That was my like a small announcement to you before you actually start this session. So yep, I'm done with my announcement and quick interaction. I don't want to hold you back any longer from starting your Python and data science course. So yep, Varun sir, all yours. You can take it ahead. I'll be in the backstage now, and you can carry out this session, sir. I think Varun sir's camera is stuck. Okay, guys, he'll be coming back. So meanwhile, if you have any more query. Okay, so sir is there. So I think his the technical problem what he was facing is now resolved. So hi sir. So I was just passing on the baton to you. I was asking you to carry forward this session ahead. I'll be in the backstage, sir. You can continue.
Yep. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that warm welcome, and thank you for igniting the fire in all the students or the people out there learning tonight. So, hi everyone. This is Varun this side, and I'll be there conducting the sessions, the three sessions for you, and hope we have a great session, great question answering sessions, and also some of the learning that we would be sharing with ourselves in the next 3 days in this particular essential program. Yeah. So the the way we would be moving forward would be that it would not be only me talking about, and we would be taking up questions. We would be taking up all the relevant queries with respect to this particular session. So whatever you feel like, we can share it, we can have it as a discussion in evening. The only thing that we are planning right now is Python for data science. So we are all here for learning data science, and before that, before jumping into major areas of data sciences, the first and foremost requirement for every other let's say field would be to learn a particular programming language. So the only programming languages that we know about in this particular field of data science and machine learning would be R and let's say your Python being the most asked, and R would be the next question, programming language that we have. Okay, so moving on, let me share my screen first. Yes, so I hope is everyone is able to see my screen. Let's get, yeah, Subhat sir, is my screen available? Yes, I guess so.
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir. It's visible.
Thank you so much, sir, for that heads up. Yes, so in particular for data science and machine learning, whereby machine Python standing out for the same. So what all we know about Python? What all there as a features in Python? We would be moving around, and with respect to the Python, we would be moving around with the what are the variables, basic stuff. What we have for any particular programming language would be knowing the data types with respect to those, knowing what all let's say
Excuse me, sir.
be it
Sir,
your sorry, sir.
can you please zoom in a bit? Actually, it's not visible properly.
1 second. Is it okay?
I think you have to. Yep, it's fine now, sir. Sorry to interrupt. You can continue, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for that, sir. Yeah. Yes. So, what I was saying was that we would be moving on with the introduction. What all features do we have with respect to the other programming languages, as to why we need this particular Python language to study, apart from the major importance of in the field of sorry, yeah, in the field of machine learning and data variables that we would be there. How are we going to write a particular program in Python, and what all things are required in order to create a particular Python code. Okay, so let's go move on with the introduction, whereby we all know that uh, Python as a language is both the scripting as well as an object oriented programming language, whereby we can have both as a script. We can write scripts as well as object oriented oops principles in Python. Yeah, so it is a we all know that it went over to as in 1980s, whereby uh, it was developed by Dutchman Postman in the early 1980s, and we all know Python, any particular programming language, as a language whereby we have to write codes, or we can have, let's say, different jargons that we need to write. But for Python, it is easy, and with easy scripts and easy syntax. We even a 1 plus 2 would run in Python. This is how simple we have a Python as a programming language. So not only for scripting, but also for our normal language, is having an upper hand with respect to the other languages such as Java and C++. Yeah, so moving on to the features of Python, whereby the first point being, as I told you, it is incredibly easy. Any particular beginner can pick it up very easily. You just need to know how to write even the pseudo codes. It's like it's like writing a particular pseudo code that we have. So basically, you even if a particular person writes on 1 plus 2 and hits a enter, that particular that particular even also gets executed in Python as a coding language. The second part, whereby the Python community is at upper hand, is the support, whereby there are many video tutorials over the let's say internet. We have uh, many communities supporting this particular language, many people we are which can give up to enhance their particular knowledge in this particular programming language, right? The third and the foremost and the most important part is the standard libraries that we have. It is nothing but expressions. We can even go ahead and making an API to just extract information over the net. We can even use it as a for visualization, for data visualization. All these particular libraries are there on the help of like Python programming language, and making it one of the most important feature of Python as this particular language. Yeah, so moving on to the fourth and the most important, another most important part of Python, whereby we can even test short snippets of codes, right? It is like we can have important interactive modes of Python, whereby we have different IDEs, and we can simply select the part of the code which we want to make it run, and hence and it will run, and in one go we will go ahead. And the last and the again, this is also one of the most important part of feature, if I can say, with Python, is that the use of Python in the field of machine learning and data science. It is one of the most popular language after, let's say, R, whereby we use it for the usage of big data and cloud computing solutions. One of the most important libraries that is used uh, Python is the language that is being preferred manywhere, right? So this was all about what are the features of Python, and what all things do we need to know about Python as a particular programming language. Uh, so moving on with the simple start of what Python is, what all variables or what all types of data types we have in Python in order to go ahead to program uh, or make a particular code in Python programming language. So let's start with some of the parts whereby we would go ahead with different areas to cover in order to write a particular Python program this tonight. So yes, so whereby first and the foremost part will be what are the variables that we need, and what are the naming conventions that we have in order to write a program code, or like let's say a program or a code in Python. The first and foremost is that variables, whatever uh, 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 containers that can help us in writing or in are what we call as variables. So as we have variables in other programming language, we do have variables in Python as well. So what as variables we have in Python is that um, we do not need to um, have a particular type assigned to it. For example, in other, if I compare it with Java or other programming language, whereby we need to specify the type of variable in order to go ahead or initialize that particular variable, let's say whether it is an integer, whether it is a floating point, or whether it is a string. So in what upper hand, what feature do we have in Python while declaring or initializing any particular variable, is that we do not need to declare any type of any particular data type before even initializing any particular variables, right? So moving on, uh, we would go ahead with what are the naming conventions in order to initialize any particular variable or declaring any particular variable. Before that, I wanted to show you with an example as to how a particular variable can be declared or can be initialized with a particular value. So here we have three variables whereby we will have this particular. Okay, now moving on, in order to see what or in order to output any particular value, we would be using a simple print command, whereby we do not learn any other syntax or any other jargon as compared to other programming language, whereby we need to learn those heavy syntaxes in order to output our values, or in order to see or print our output. So simple print command, and we would be able to see what the value is, or what the variable is having as a particular value. Right. So for this variable, whatever value this particular variable is having, we are trying to print out with the help of this particular command, whereby print and simple the variable name, and we would be getting a particular value as that particular output. Similarly, the same happens with the other one as well. And the so whatever values we need to print out, we can even print out with the help of print command simple, and it will be able to print out what values we need to see, right? Okay, so we need not where we are trying to initialize or declare a variable which with a integral part, whether it is an integer, but is a normal decimal point number, whereby we have floating points, or whether it is a simple text or a string which we are trying to declare it with. So whatever we would be declaring it with, whatever value we need it to be declared with, we can simple declare it, and we need not even discuss it with a particular type or a data type which we have. So yeah, sorry. Yeah. So moving ahead with the other type. So as you can see here, be it any particular data type, be it a string, which we have here as let's upgrade, or with whether it's a normal number, we can print out whatever let's say type we want it to have. And we can even change the type after they have been set. So for example, if for one particular example, if I can just give you one particular example, we have declared here c as a integer. We can even declare it with a particular do we have, we can simply print out the type with related to those particular variable, whereby we can simply type out this particular command type c, and we can find out the data type that particular variable is holding. So for example, right now it is holding for int, and let's say if I run again, and yes, it is storing string now because I have run this particular cell. So whatever cell you want to run, whatever part of the code that you want to run, we can run simply with the help of this particular id, which is Jupyter notebook that we are running. So we would be taking this session, all these sessions on Jupyter notebook, whereby we would also be giving out this particular Jupyter notebooks as a part of for materials for us to for you all to go back and revise from the same. Right. So printing out the type is similar. Just type it out as type, and whatever variable name you want to check it out, and it will give you the type, whatever type that particular variable is holding, whatever type value that particular variable is holding, it will be able to give you to that. Okay. So yeah. So one, it is not only that only particular value, multiple variables, whereby we can just need to go ahead with assigning the same value with different types of different variables that we need to have, and it will get and assign for the same. For example, in this particular case, if we like assign it and then print it, it will be able to print that those values for me. Right. So let's say let me have one more value here, and let us print it the same. Yes. So it will, whatever number of variables you want to declare, whatever and want to declare, or any particular variable that you want to have the same value, we can declare it in this particular fashion, and it will get declared and have that particular variable assigned to that particular variable name. Okay, so moving on to what would be the naming convention as we compare with other programming languages. Yes, these two the this particular programming language also have a particular rule in order to name any particular variable. Right. So first and foremost, being it the variable name be able to different meanings, like, okay, for example, if we have um, a whereby we are giving us a small letter a and declaring with a particular value, whereas the other capital letter a we are declaring with other particular value. These two variables will be having different meanings and different values with respect to them. For example, if I just print out what a is, yes, so it will not have that same value with which it was having with LetsUpgrade. So okay, so whatever case you write, it is case sensitive. The variable names are case sensitive, so we can it's not like we can have any particular case with respect to, we can use any particular case with respect to any particular variable that we've declared. For example, if we are declaring it with a small c and using a capital C in our particular code, that would not work, and hence it would not it will throw either an error, or like it will not give us the desired results that we have, that we want. Okay, so moving on with respect to the other naming conventions, the rules that we have, apart from being case sensitive, it must start with a letter or the underscore character. Okay, so let's say if we have any particular underscore it will have this particular character. Okay, let's say we, yes, so it will store, and it is allowed it is being allowed as a particular variable convention name. So we can start either by a letter or a underscore character, and it will be allowed to be named as a particular variable. The second being, it cannot start with a number. We cannot start a particular variable name with a number. For example, let's say if I give this, and yes, it will throw you an error, which is a syntax error, whereby you will not be allowed to name a variable which is starting with a number. So it is not allowed, and hence we would avoid giving these type of names with us. Okay, so the third being, a variable can only be alphanumeric, and underscores, as we have seen. Let's say if I do like this, and this will be taken as a particular valid input. Okay, so remember that a number. For example, if we can even give number afterwards, but it cannot start with a number, right? So it has given it, let's say, um, I can give one more value here just to show you. Yes, so it can have a number, it can be alphanumeric with a character, but it cannot start with a particular number. So remember that. Uh, uh, Identify the cases, uh, do not start with the number, and we can have alphanumeric names also for a particular variable that we are trying to declare. All right, moving on. So let's say as I explained you, what how will we be able to output, or will be able to see the output, what we want, and what all things that we are trying to, let's say, print, would be with the help of the print command, a simple print command, and it will be able to print out the output for us. Similar is this particular case, whereby simple, if we want to print out what is the value of c, what is the values our variable c is holding, we can simply print out the value of c, and it will give us the value of c. Now the other thing will be, we can even combine as we are giving as an output. So with just a help of a plus sign, and it will be able to give you the output with a particular text. Let's say if we run this, and this particular text, if we want to give this particular text with respect to what is the value that this particular variable is holding, we can simply use this, let's say, syntax, and it will be able to give us the uh, output, what we are trying to give us, take it as particular output. For example, let's say we have another variable, let's say d, and let's say, whatever you want. Let's say we want to try it with the, let's say, New Delhi, and we want to print out, let's say, with a particular text, capital of, and it will be able to, if we given a particular space, and let's say, yeah, it will be the basic, uh, let's say, basic variable, basic things as to how we would be writing a particular code, or what would be the syntax, how we'll be able to print out the particular output for us. These were the things that we covered till now. So before moving on, if there are any particular questions, we would be able to take it as the particular questions, whatever questions are particular, any particular of you have, we can take it before moving on with the data types for this particular session. Okay, do we have any questions? Not able to see. Okay, no questions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the heads up. Now we are uh, able to see that. Thank you so much. There was one question. So we can use double or single quotes both for storing text and variable. Yes, we would be. I will explain that particular part as well, and we would be getting this particular thing cleared as well. Yeah. Can I use VS Code? Yes, we can use VS Code for Python as well. Can we use double again? The same question. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so moving on to the data types. Whatever data types we have, let's say what let's like variables. Um, uh, what data type, in which particular data type we can store a particular variable. We This particular part would be helpful for in order to understand that. So let's say we already covered, what type of function we would be using in order to find out the data type that particular variable is holding, and hence we can skip this part again. Yes. So any particular data type or a particular string in that particular case, if I can give you. So yes, we can declare a string with a single quote or a double quote as well. So the only thing is that if we are starting it with a single quote, we should be ending it with a single quote in order to declare that particular string. If we are starting with a double quote, we should be ending with a double quote. We cannot end it with a single quote in that particular case. For example, in this particular case, this is acceptable, but if we are trying to end it with a single quote, this is not acceptable. So whatever we are starting it with, either we can start it with a double quote and end it with a double quote, or vice versa. If we can start it with a single quote and end it with a single quote. So only one quotes would be there in order to initialize or declare that particular variable. We cannot declare it with multiple quotes in this particular case. For example, now in this particular case, if we are trying to declare it, uh, let's say where we are using an apostrophe in this particular case, then we would be declaring it like with a double quotes. That particular apostrophe with us. If we are using an apostrophe, make sure that we use it with a double, we declare it with a double quote string, and we would be able to use those apostrophes in our particular text or string that we are trying to declare it. Okay, moving on. In order to assign a particular multi-line string, let's say a particular text which is having multi-lines, more than one line in this particular case, so we can declare it with three double quotes, or let's say three single quotes, whatever we would like to declare it with, right? And if you're using double quotes, we can even use it. We can even make use of apostrophes, and hence we can go ahead and include those things in our particular variable declaration. Right. So string is let's say we can change values, and it is mutable. We can change it. We can change values in our particular strings. We would go ahead in order to traverse the values in our particular string, and we can even go ahead and let's say reverse it, or if you want to any make use of any particular characters in between those strings, we can even insert it, and hence that particular string and we would be going ahead with the for loop as well. This is just bear with me for this particular case. So I would definitely go ahead with the looping and how to traverse with the values of a particular variable that we have. So just bear it with me for some time. I would definitely cover this particular part as well. Okay, so moving on to the next data type which we have, which is list. Um, Basically, this is the most commonly used data structure, and as we have list in other programming languages as well, do we have in this particular programming language also. Okay, so whatever sequence of data that you want, we can use it, and we can declare a particular list enclosed with square brackets. And if you want to have a different, let's say, sequence of data or different datas inside a particular list, we can separate it with the help of comma, right? So in this particular part, this is again mutable, whereby we can change the values we have. We can even go ahead with finding out the a particular value for a particular index, for a particular index range. So in order to empty it, and if we want to insert some of the values before declare for the declaration of a particular list, we can go ahead and we can declare that particular in that particular fashion as well. Okay, so as I mentioned, we can simply let's say print out those values which we want it as a particular output. We can see those values with the help of indexing, whereby the indexing for this particular for any particular data type starts with a zero, and we generally end it with the n minus one that we have for n, whereby we have n as the number of elements that we want to store it in a particular list. So here as well, this particular list index will start from zero, and if you want to see what is the first element of this particular list, we can just call it off and just see with respect to that particular index value. Okay, so yeah, so as I mentioned, it can also be done in a reverse order, whereby you can you can, let's say, see what all values are there in your list from the last, be it the last value or the second last value that you want to see, from the till the starting point. In this case, it will start with a minus one, whereby the value at minus one would be the last value that we would be accessing from that particular list, right? Let's say if we do it, and hence it will be able to give you the last value. If you want to access it further, we can do it with the help of by changing the indexing values for the particular uh, values. Okay, so what all things can be done with respect to a particular list data type is that we can slice the values. We can even select a particular a range of values from a particular list, and we can let's say either slice it, we can expand it, we can append those values, and hence we will be able to either play with the values of a particular list. For example, in this particular, let's say if we want, if we have a range of numbers in this particular fashion, we can even check or have, or let's say slice our particular list, uh, just if you want to have a range of index values in this particular case. So if you want just the first four numbers from our list, we can give the range of values, and hence it will be able to give you the last value that we want to have. And we can even store this in, whereby this would be your starting value and this would be the end, whereby it when it starts with a particular zero index, and hence this would be the last value that would be output in this particular case. Let's say if we print value of c, it will be able to print, give you the output as the value of c, right? So we can do the slicing, we can do deletions, we can do additions. So in order to add any particular element, let's say if you want to add or let's say if you want uh, to even add any particular element in that particular case, we can do it with the help of append command. So for example, if we have a value, a variable a, which needs to be added in our old let's say list, we can add it with the help of append command, and it will be able to append it, right? So we had till 9 here, and we would be able to append it with the help of append command. Let's say if you want to append it not only with respect to the variable but also straight as a value, let's say you can even append it with the help of any particular value. Let's say it will get appended. So apart from append, we also have another function known as extend, whereby if you want to extend our list with the help of another list, we would be able to do that as well. Let's say, for example, we have another list of values. Let's say 11, 12, 13, and we want it to get extended with the help of the list B. We can even do that. Sorry, here. Sorry. And it will get extended and it will help the input. For example, instead of appending a single value each and every time, we would just be going ahead, and if you want to append the whole list of values at once, we can make use of the word extend, and it will get added with respect to that particular list, or that we want to get it as output. Okay, so this was the end for list. The other moving on to the other data type that we have in Python, this is tuple. So till now we were able to change the values, or let's say we were able to change any particular values in this, but in between of those particular, or add for those in that particular case. This tuple is a type of data type which will not let you change any particular value once declared or once initialized. Hence, it is known as an immutable data type, whereby you will not be able to change any or manipulate with any particular value in this particular for that particular tuple that you had declared earlier, right? So this is what tuple is. The only difference that we, again, I would be reiterating, is that you will not be able to change the values inside a tuple, but you will be able to change the values inside a list or a particular, let's say, string in that particular case. Okay, so a tuple is basically assigned with a parenthesis, or let's say if you want to even make use of an empty tuple, or you can use either empty parenthesis or with the help of the tuple keyword that you have. Let's say, okay, so initializing first tuple in this particular case, let's say this is how you will be able to initialize your tuple, and it will be and go ahead and discuss that a tuple, you will not be able to change the values inside a tuple. Any particular value that you will be going ahead and to change those things, it will not get as let's say change, or let's say moved. So let's say in this particular case, when if you're trying to change the value which we have at the first place, let's say what it does. Yeah, so it will give you a particular error whereby it will tell you that it does not support item assignment, or let's say it does not support change in that particular case if you want to change it. Sorry. Okay, so tuple, we've come to an end as a tuple. This is what we all needed to know about what is a tuple data type. And the only thing that we need to know in this particular case is that uh, uh, tuple is immutable, and the other data types that we learned till now, be it strings, be it list, they are mutable and hence can be changed. The values can be changed inside them, and hence we are able to use make use of those. Okay, going ahead with the next we can just view with other particular languages, programming languages. It is working on hash tables, whereby we just simply have key value pairs, and we will be able to access the values which we have with respect to any particular key that we give. So basically, we just need to give the key value, the value of the key, and the respective value associated with that key will be achieved. So in this case, how we let's say declare or initialize, this is how we declare it with the help of curly brackets, and we have key value pairs. So uh, here in this case, first we will be mentioning the keys, and then it will then a particular value associated with that key will come. So we can go ahead with the same, and the let's say first initialize the first dictionary that we have. Okay, so this would be your key, and the corresponding value would be this with respect to that particular key that you give. And again, no matter how many keys you give, the respective values will also be there when you are declaring the same for your dictionary. Okay, so this was the basic declaration part of dictionary, and moving on to so first of all, dictionary is let's say um, are ordered and does not allow duplicates again, and you cannot have duplicate key values of keys. There should be different values of keys that we have in a particular dictionary that we are trying to declare. And any particular values can be let's say accessed with the help of the keys that we give for that particular dictionary that we've declared. For example, if we want to declare, let's say, know the value of a particular, if we know the value of a particular key and wanted to know the value associated with that key, we would simply be making use of this function, or let's say a way, in order to understand what is the value associated with that particular key. So be it for this particular key, or let's say if you want to see for something else. Yeah, so whatever values you want to know for a particular key, you just need to give the key name, and it will be able to give you the output as the value associated with that particular key. Okay, so as I mentioned, dictionaries are changeable, and let's say we can add or particular remove for example if you want to say a particular key. For example, if we want that, okay, we want to change the value associated with this particular key, we just need to call off that particular key, and we just need to give the value that we need it to get it changed, and hence it will change it. Okay, so first it was data science, and now since we've changed it, and have had a new value associated with that particular key that we have, we can even change the values, and we can change even the respective values for that particular key. Okay, so as we can even add new key values, and we just need to uh, give the name of the key that we need to add and the corresponding values associated with it, and it will get added to a new a dictionary. Let's say yeah, so it gets added. This is the way we can add, or let's say extend our dictionary in this particular case. So remember, we can change the values, we can add the values, we can even see, let's say, what all the values is there related to a particular key in our particular dictionary. So yes, it gets initialized with the help of curly braces, and just the use, we can make use of key value pairs, and hence are associated with our particular dictionary. We can make use of dot items function, and it will be able to give you all the items and the respective key value pairs, whatever you have in a particular dictionary that you've declared. So this will help you in order to give you all the items, all the key value pairs that you have, uh, uh, what you've declared as a particular dictionary, or what you have as a particular dictionary in this particular case. Yes, so if you want to know all the respective values, not the keys in this particular case, but only the values that are there in a particular dictionary, you will be able to see it with the dot values. It will only be showing the values that you are currently, your dictionary is currently holding, and it will not be able not be showing you the keys that are associated with that. So okay, so in that particular case, if you just want to see the keys that you have in your particular dictionary, so you can make use of dot keys command, and it will be able to give you all the keys, name of all the keys that that your dictionary is currently holding. So yes, you can make use of these commands, whether you want to know all the items, or let's say pairs of key value that the dictionary is holding, or let's say item, let's say the items, right? So moving on. Okay, so item, you cannot refer it with a particular index. Let's say with the help of indexing, we were able to see what all things, or what all things are there in that particular index. This is not available, or let's say this is not there in your dictionary, and whenever you will be trying to see it, or let's say what particular value is there in your first place key value pair, or let's say in that particular case item is there in your first place, it will, you will not be able to see it, because this is not allowed in a dictionary. So this particular value, let's say if we run it, it will throw you an error that, let's say that, okay, it will treat this as a key, and it will try to search this value as a key, and if it is not there, it will throw you a key error, and you will not be able to see it with respect to let's say uh, the indexing, with respect to the indexing, as we were able to see in other particular data types, right? So we would not be able to index it, we will not be able to see what all things are there, but yes, if you want to key, we would be able not to access it with respect to the index values, as we were able to access it in other data types that we had. Okay, so moving on to the last and one of the most important one as well, data type is a set, whereby let's say again it is an unordered and unindexed collection, whereby we can go ahead with respect to declaring it with curly brackets again, and it is not uh, a key value pair, simple values within the curly brackets, and you will be able to have a particular set declared for that particular case if it is there. Yeah, so as I mentioned, sets are unordered, and let's say you will not be able to see at what index those particular values are there. So if you can see in this way also, I tried declaring it with apple, banana, cherry, but it was able to print me in other any other way, or any other, let's say, index value. So it will be unordered, and every time you see, it will be like having a particular different order that you had. So it is not sure, or let's say it is not sure that whatever order you stored in the backend. So it will not be like that. It will only be it is let's say it will only be stored in another particular order that is so it is not important that it will be stored in the same order in which you tried to declare it, right? So again, if you are trying to index it, it will throw an error to you that it is not substitutable, and it will go ahead and any particular type error, it will be throwing it for you. So yeah, you will not be able to index it. You will not be able to know the particular value, or let's say the particular value that is there on a particular index. Hence, it is known as unordered and an indexed type of data type. Okay, so yes, so as we all have read about set stores unique elements. Let's say the set which we had read till now in our maths classes. Yes, the set is the same. It is a collection, let's say a collection of unique elements. Even if you are trying to store any duplicate values in set, it will not be there at the backend. So let's say we are trying to add another apple or value of apple here. So value, it will be able to store it, store unique elements with respect to that particular value that you give. So it will be only having unique elements. No duplicate values are allowed at the backend for a set. So only unique elements would be there. Yes, so you can have multiple data types in a particular string. So, for example, you can even have string, you can have, let's say, a numeric or a floating point number. Everything would be stored in a set, but all everything would be unique. It will not be repeated, it will not be duplicate values that we are trying to store it in a particular set. Yeah, so this makes an end to a particular types of data types we have in Python, and whether it is built-in data types or whatever. And so these are the types which we would be learning today, and going ahead with respect to Python. Now, the other part that we would be going ahead would be the conditional parts, which will help us in order to make our code more, let's say, helpful in conditions, and let's say code, or let's say we want to run values, we would be able to run it with the help of these conditions or conditional statements, which we would be taking up next, right? Yeah, so the first Python conditional statements that we have is the if else statements, as we have in the other languages as well. But the only thing that makes Python, let's say, if I can say, uh, let's say different from with respect to the other programming languages, is the way we declare it, or way we write if statements and the respective programming inside those particular statements, in those particular conditions. So what exactly is the let's say syntax, is that you write a particular condition with respect to the if command, and if that particular is true, this will this part of the code would be executed. If not, then this part of the code will be executed. Now in this particular case, what is there is that we would not be making use of any curly braces in order to let's say separate it. We can simply make use of normal indentations or white space, and part of the code, or if particular condition is let's say false. Okay, so simply a normal indentation, I would let you know what type of indentation that you want to give. So this is how a particular if else statement strike, whereby if any particular condition is true, if whatever we have written here, if this particular condition is true, then this part of the code will run, and if that particular condition is not true, then this part of the code would run. For example, if I change simply, sorry, if I simply change this, it will go in the else command, and it will print for those particular part. Right. So as I mentioned, it works on indentations, and let's say if you want to define what is the scope, or what is the line of code that we need to run after this particular condition is true, then we need to follow the indentation rule. For example, we can put either a simple tab. Let's say in this particular case, okay. For example, if we can either put a simple tab, or we can even put uh, to have the indentation done. It should not be like once at one place you are using four spaces, and the other part you are using a tab. So if you're using tab, please make sure you maintain it through, and if you're using four spaces in order to give the indentation, please make sure that you are maintaining it with the help throughout your program. So it should not be a mix of the way you are giving the indentation as a particular uh, uh, scope, or let's say to define a particular line of code that you need to run. Okay, so either a tab or four spaces, this would be done. This would be acceptable, and you can go ahead and make use of the same. Okay, so what will happen if we do not give indentation? So if we are not giving any particular indentation after the colon that we are trying to give, it tends to give you an error, and it tends to give you let's say that that the code is expecting an indentation. The code is expecting a particular way to, let's say, close those commands. We are not giving it, and that particular code is not getting it, and hence it will throw an error, and it will give you an indentation error in return. then also it will be able to give you, it will not give you any particular error. But if no indentation is given, it will tend to give you a particular error. Let's say in this part we have given the indentation. Let's see what it does. Now, so since we've given the indentation in this particular part and not in this part, then now my code is trying to give you the error where there is a particular error, or where there is not an indentation that we are giving. So let's say we would need to give a particular indentation here. Let's say whatever indentation you want to give, and it will help you like that. I should not give here. Again. This part. Yeah, so might be that there is. Okay, so sorry, my bad. The thing is that we would need it. It is not a need to hear. This particular print is actually giving me an error, and hence yes, it is running good. Yeah, the presence of the algorithm, the syntax was not right, and hence it was throwing me an error. So yeah, so what I was trying to explain was here. Let's say here it is giving me the indentation error here. So once if I give you one part here, it will not throw any particular error here. Okay, so we would be needing a particular indentation and a particular code associated with that if we are trying to say run that particular for our if statements. If we go ahead with looping, whereby we would loop through our let's say a particular program, or let's say a particular part of code. Again, we would be making use of indentations, and there are two types of loops, one being the while loop. As we all know, a while loop, let's say it will keep on executing until and unless that particular condition is not true. Okay, so for example, let's say we have declared a particular part, and until and unless this particular condition is not true, it will keep on moving and keep on trying to run that part of the code that you're trying to run it. Okay, so for example, so it will keep on running until and unless that particular part a become does not become, let's say, more than 6. It will keep on running an example. So make sure while using a while loop, make sure that you have something that will try to stop the while loop, otherwise it will go on a infinite loop. For example, if this part is would not be there, whenever you are using a while loop, there should be a particular part which terminates, which will help in terminating that particular loop. Otherwise, your code will go into an infinite loop and it will keep on running and running. Okay. Okay, so not only if statement, we also have while statement, which can with which else part also accompanies. So whenever this particular part of the code is not true, it will go into the else command and it will stop and print whatever is there in that particular else command. For example, again, sorry. So whenever that particular loop is finished or that condition is not true, it will go on to the else command and it will end up using this particular um, uh, commands. Okay, so whatever we can even use else with the help of while. It is not essential, but yes, it can. If it can also, if you want to, let's say, print out something whenever the code gets completed, you can have the else command anywhere in that particular associated code. Okay, so moving on to the second loop, which is our for loops, whereby it's a sequence of items, whatever items we have, and we want to iterate through them. Let's say if we have a string and we want to iterate through the string, if you want to have a number of elements in a particular list, in a particular item, let's say tuple or a set or a dictionary, whatever, if you want to iterate through a sequence of items, we can make use of for loops, and it will help. It can help in making our lives easier and make use of those items in our part of the code. So yeah, so again, it will make use of indentation wherever we want. We can make use of indentation here. Let's say make it, we can so it will, whatever value is there in this list, it will take that value. Let's say for the first iteration, it will take the first element. The second iteration, it will take the second element, and so on, and it will help you printing the same. Okay. Again, as I told you, if we have, let's say, string, we can even iterate through the elements of the string that we have, and it will, the for loop will help us in, let's say, going ahead in order to iterate through the elements that we have in our string. See what elements are there in a particular string. It will go ahead uh, uh, and go ahead in this particular 1, 2, 3. So all elements would be printed out, and it will again loop through all the elements in a particular string, and those elements would print out with the help of the for loop uh, while looping the particular string. Yeah, so we can even have a loop after loop or nested loops, whereby first the inner loop, the outer loop will be there, then inner loop and the most inner loop. So the sequence would be that the inner loop will complete, then the outer loop will complete, and the outermost loop will complete. And this is how you would be able to, let's say, loop out, or let's say, go ahead with all the particular loops or all the iterations with you in order to, like, let's say, uh, whatever you want to get it iterated. So for example, if we have two variables here, let's say the numbers and the values associated with it, and you want to save it, or let's say we want to iterate with all those values, we will be able to values will be iterated. For example, for a particular value in this, all these values will be iterated first, then this value will the index value for this numbers variable would get incremented, and then again all these let's say iterations will be done, and again the number would be the index number would be incremented here, and then all these values will be further going to iterate. Okay, so let's see what all things are printed. Yeah, so as you can see, first the outermost we started the outermost loop, whereby we have the first index, and every value will be iterated from the second variable. Every value will be iterated, and then the index value of the outermost variable would be incremented, and all the respective values will be iterated again, and this is how it will loop uh, through when we have the nesting of loops. Right, so one after the other, all loops will be iterated and we'll go ahead with the same. Now, what if we want for a particular condition to stop our loop? To stop our loop for that particular when that particular condition comes, and we would come out of our loop in that particular case. For example, again we would be having the same values as our particular variable, and we will be iterating the same. We would be printing and we would be iterating. For example, in this particular case, if the value of if any of the item is equivalent to the value second, it will break the loop and will come out of that particular loop. Let's say for this. Okay, so it will first print the value this first, then again it will print the value of x, that is second. And now since this particular value or this particular condition has occurred, it will break the loop and will come out of the loop and stop moving through the loop again. Okay, so if you want to break the particular for loop in between for a particular condition, we can make use of break command in that particular case, right? Yeah, so what if we don't want to break it and we want to skip a particular part of that particular loop, but we do not want our loop to stop in between? Okay, so in that particular case, we would be having the same and will continue with iterating through the loop. For example, in this particular command, for let's say if a particular x value, the value of x is second, it will skip but will not break the loop. It will just skip that part and will continue looping through that particular for loop that we have, but it will not break. Okay, so any particular value for any particular condition, if you want to not printed or not executed, or let's say not included in a particular part of the code, we can just make use of continue, and it will just continue and skip that part since it has passed that particular condition, but it will not break. Unlike in break, it will totally stop, and it will totally stop executing the whole program, and it will not continue looping it forward. Okay, so I hope you understand the basic difference between why we use a break and why we use a continue. So basically the two have the same value, just to skip that part, but the major difference is that one completely stops executing the command or the code, but the other but keeps on moving and moving for a particular loop until that particular loop gets over. Right. So this brings us to the end for this particular session, and I hope there are we were able to learn some of the basic things for in this particular session, be it related to any particular variable declaration or the data types that we need to understand, or any particular let's say value that we need to declare, or what all things that we need to have in
Excuse
order
me,
to
sir.
understand. So this is what was there in store for this particular session. We can So we will be going ahead with the other parts as well, and yes, we for tomorrow we would
Excuse
be
me, sir.
yes sir.
Sorry to interrupt. Also, sir, you can share the like assignment for the day to them. Anyway, it would also be posted in the community.
Sure.
So, guys, actually, Varun sir himself would be posting assignment and material for today's session in the community group. Do check out your community link. It is mentioned in the description. Actually, you can check it out. Also, sir would be telling you right now, like he's like discussing something. After that, he would just tell you also the assignment for the day. Okay. Anyway, if it is not done in this session itself, it would be posted soon after the class in your community. Do check out your community group, respective community group. After some time, after the end of the session, obviously, maybe half an hour gap you can give and check out your community. The link is there in the description. You can check the same group. Okay, after maybe half an hour at 10 p.m. you can check and you have your assignment posted there, assignment and both material for this session. Okay, that's what I had to announce. Yes, sir, you can carry forward.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Yes. So you will be getting the assignments for your for the today's session, and you will also be getting the same material that we discussed today, and also for the part which we will be discussing as a part of tomorrow's session would be the different libraries that we have in data science, and the basically what all libraries do we have in order to visualize our code, in order to have a clear understanding or a clear picture as to what all data that we have in store for us. So yeah, so assignment would I would be posting the assignment in the community link as mentioned by Suprit sir, and we would also be let's say posting this particular material that we discussed. I will be posting this Jupyter notebook only, and you can go ahead with the Jupyter notebook, and whatever doubts we have, we can take it up Yeah, so if we do not have any particular doubts for today, we can close it for the day, and hope you have had a clear understanding of the basics that we declared that we discussed today, and what all things, whatever doubts we have, we can even take it before the start of tomorrow's session, and we can clear that those particular doubts then and there as well. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night, and have a good learnings ahead. So yeah, do check out the assignments. I would definitely would be posting the assignment soon after this particular session. Let's have that particular assignment done, and whatever doubts we have, we can discuss it as I mentioned tomorrow as well. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Keep learning, keep sharing. Thank you so much.